Daniel Jones has been really disappointing ever since being selected number 6 overall in 2019. He's never had more than 3,300 yards in a season, and his best year statistically isn't that much better than his rookie season. Despite that, he signed a 4-year contract extension this past offseason, right before another injury-riddled season that ended up getting cut short. Now, 5 years later, the Giants are picking again at number 6 overall, and they have the chance to take his replacement. Now, before we talk about JJ McCarthy, who I think is most likely to be the Giants' next quarterback, let's talk about why they're thinking about replacing Daniel Jones. Going back to 2022, which most people consider a career year for Daniel Jones, he was 14th in pass attempts with 472, he was 24th in yards per attempt, 31st in air yards per attempt, 30th in interceptable passes, and 21st in passing touchdowns. He also had about 7 carries a game for 708 yards. So what can we actually take from those stats? The team was in the top half of the league in terms of throwing the football, but he didn't push it downfield, and when he did, he was probably putting it in harm's way. When actually watching the team play, it can be hard to watch Daniel Jones at times. He's oblivious in the pocket, and you can almost count on a turnover at a critical moment in the game. I used to joke with friends that in every close game, it always ended with either an interception or a fumble recovered by the defense. Not to mention, it felt like he was hurt every other game, and in actuality, he's missed 16 games in the last 3 years. That's almost a full slate of NFL gone. Now, Daniel Jones does have a few positives. He's got a good arm, he's very athletic, he's big and strong, but that's pretty much where it ends. Again, looking at that 2022 season, the offense primarily moved via the run game on the backs of himself and Saquon Barkley. Now, I don't think I need to hammer this point home too much more, but I'll just say this. Daniel Jones is not in the same tier as guys like Kirk Cousins or Jared Goff. He's much more in the tier of guys like Russell Wilson and Mitch Trubisky. But is JJ McCarthy any better? That's the question that Brian Daboll and GM Joe Schoen are facing right now. In his final year at Michigan, JJ only attempted about 22 passes a game, which is very low compared to a lot of other programs. So obviously this was a very run-focused team. When you compare his stats last year to his sophomore year, it's hard to tell the difference. They're almost identical. In fact, they actually look really close to Daniel Jones' stats during his last year at Duke. Now, when you turn on the film, here's what I see with JJ McCarthy. He has bad footwork that leaves him pigeon-toed at times and leads to overthrown or inaccurate passes. He has inconsistent eyes and sometimes loses underneath defenders, and he occasionally bails from a clean pocket. Now, if you ask me, that sounds a lot like Daniel Jones. But here's what I also said about JJ McCarthy. He shows elite NFL physical traits. Great arm, throws with anticipation, has nice enough touch to layer throws, had nice throws on bootlegs, he's athletic, and he's willing to fit the ball into tight windows. Now, if only there was another quarterback with elite physical tools but sloppy footwork and bad accuracy that worked with Brian Daboll. Oh wait, that's Josh Allen. Now, obviously, it's not fair to say that JJ McCarthy is going to be the next Josh Allen because that's just not how football works. But if his floor is to be a clone of Daniel Jones and his ceiling is to be 90% of what Josh Allen is now, wouldn't you draft him? Going off of Peter Schrager's most recent mock draft, moving up to number 4 with the Cardinals should cost about a 3rd round pick this year and a 2nd next year. A 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round pick. That's the cost at having a chance at an elite quarterback, and I think that's worth it. The Giants have a chance to get out of Daniel Jones' contract for relatively cheap after this upcoming season, and that means they can afford to sit JJ behind Daniel for up to a full year, and they aren't actually losing anything. So let's go over a few things. Daniel Jones is a mediocre to bad quarterback who's athletic and can win you a few games, but you can't expect to win a Super Bowl with him. And let's not forget the Giants are paying him $40 million a year to be mediocre. JJ McCarthy will be on a cheap rookie contract, and although he'll probably take a few years to elevate himself and a lot of hard work, he could become an elite quarterback before the end of his rookie deal. I'm not saying that's likely, I'm just saying it's possible. So here's my question to you. Are you willing to be mediocre at best because that's what you're used to? Or are you willing to throw that away at the chance to be great? That's my case to draft JJ McCarthy. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. This is my first sort of video like this, and I'm really excited to put it together. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun YouTube stuff. As always, your support is greatly appreciated, and of course, I will see you in the next one.